Hello, hello world, hello collective. Oh, this is gonna be piping hot. Ooh. You know when you can tell by the steam hitting your nose that it's gonna be too hot for sips. Here, we'll start with a little water. Okay, well, where to begin? Let's see. Oh, I know where we can begin. My little cutie patootie best friend, 90-year-old Hobbit man, he made me this clip necklace to attach to my necklace. And what's so brilliant though is that I'm talking about blue and purple working together, and you can't tell, but it's this like iridescent blue and purple. Anyway, because I love him so much, I will probably be wearing these clips until the day that I die. And now I have to, well, I don't have to make him, I'm choosing to make him something. I asked him what his favorite colors were today, and he informed me the tertiary colors. So now I'm gonna have to go find, I think I'm gonna build a loom tonight. Build a loom and do some weaving or maybe some beadwork. I'm gonna make him something. He lived many years in Peru. This guy's brilliant, and he is an industrial designer. Now, you have to remember, he's in his 90s with dementia, okay? So like, don't knock this, okay? I will come for you. I will come for you. But actually, his life is so interesting. Anyway, so we have that. Okay, so on the walk to his home today, I heard, well, I actually have a lyric that goes, birds of a feather flock together. That's why I cut my wings off. So Spirit wanted to talk about those that have been chosen to walk a hard path. Now, we all have our life's purpose. We all come in with our own agreements. And there are those of us that have chosen to come in to walk a hard path. Now, where I grew up and was raised, in the Northwest Territories and in a lot of Indigenous regions, we were always told and taught that, you know, healers and medicine people, like, you don't choose that. You don't choose that for yourself. You don't just wake up and decide, oh, I'm going to be a medicine person. No, Spirit gives you that tap on the shoulder, and most people don't want it because it is the lonely road. It is a hard path, and it is filled with a lot of loneliness, pain, and strife. Because in order to be a medicine person or a healer of some kind, you get broken again and again and again. And you have to figure out how to put yourself back together. So they're showing me that, but with the birds of a feather flock together, that's why I cut my wings off. It's because toxic people, unhealthy people, I don't know if you've noticed this, but they need each other. They always come in clumps. Very rarely will you find a real sick fuck who can walk the path alone. Like, do you know what I mean? They will always have kind of a harem, you know what I mean? Not so much sexual, or sometimes sexual, but like, do you know what I mean? They will always have, whether you call them flying monkeys, whatever, they will always have their little snake pit. So the kind of the courage and the strength that's required to identify, and usually, you know, for a lot of people, it starts within the family structure, where you go, you know what? I see what you have, and I don't want what you have. I would rather cut my wings off than be a part of this flock. So, we're gonna light a candle here. 2 candles. So what they're showing me though, and I'm gonna warn you, I'm probably gonna cry because the way that they were showing me things this morning, I was like, oof, it's a beautiful cry, but like, you'll see where we're going. But yeah, for all of those that have chosen the hard path, that have chosen to literally walk away from the comforts of friends, family, familiars, lovers, partners, social constructs, and willing to go alone, to be like, I'd rather be alone than be a part of this, because again, what you have, I don't want. And you can persecute me, you can make fun of me, you can throw stones at my head. And yeah, I don't want to be part of this flock. But what they then showed me is, they usually just show me like an individual, but really it's like any of you in the collective. But it's kind of easier for my mind to just kind of take the collective energy and see it as one kind of, and it's the person from the back, genderless. But what you guys don't realize, this person doesn't realize, is that by cutting off their wings and willing to go it alone, it's like the spirit is showing me that they're receiving angel wings, like these big, beautiful angel wings. Now, it kind of sounds, again, I wish I could show you what I see and feel, because it's so much more. But for anyone it's like the underdog, you know? The underdog, I don't know. So you're receiving basically angel wings, and they're huge. But it's like the person doesn't realize it, because I see them from the back, and they're kind of naked. And they're just kind of, I don't know, like in maybe a little bit of a crouch position. Probably like feeling a lot of feelings. And it's like what they don't see is that like the angelic realm, it's like, yeah, it's like all about this angelic realm of like, because then what they showed me and what they told me is that while you were weeping, the angels were weeping alongside you. That there's an understanding when you came into this life that some things couldn't be interfered with. That some of the really terrible things that you were to go through, it was like, there's some divine intervention that's allowed, but there's some that isn't. And so what they're showing me is that when you were crying and weeping and feeling as though the universe left you bereft, that these angels or whatever it is that you pray to just left you, abandoned you, that they were always there, and they were just weeping because they knew how terrible it was, but they couldn't interfere in that moment. Anyway, so we had that, and then, so I'm getting the song, Hallelujah, and they're really looping this one part. And I think it's going to speak to like the person, like there's like a significant person figure in your life that would have done kind of the most damage. Hold on, let's get a little smoky here. Yeah. Okay, and also I'm thinking here, what deck do we want to start the story with? Because I don't really know where we're going with this. Is just kind of what we started with. So, okay, what deck? Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. From your lips she drew hallelujah. Hallelujah. So anyway, it has a real Delilah and Samson kind of feel, but I feel like it's like the Hallelujah. Like I just see all these like angels literally crouched beside you. Like I feel like there was a parental figure who just was terrible. Like just terrible. And also like I'm sorry, I'm not spiritually advanced enough. Like people who hurt children, I fucking hate your guts. I do. It's just one thing that spiritually might ever keep me from ascending. I fucking hate people who hurt vulnerables. And that goes for old people, like my 90-year-old. People who hurt animals, old people, and children. Fucking hate your guts. Oh, you know what? I never use the angel answers deck, but since we're talking angels, I don't know. Let's just see what pops out here. Let's just see. I don't really connect with this deck, to be honest, but we're having a real angel fest. Yeah, the angels are here. Yeah, and to be honest, they just make me want to weep. Their love. And I guess it's just how proud, like, yeah, there's this like real, I just see hundreds of huge angels surrounding you. And as you went through terrible things, they were just like weeping. And they couldn't, like, by divine law, by the contract of which we're bound in this life, they couldn't intervene. Oh, it's very moving. Very moving. But yeah, the Delilah and Samson. So if you're not familiar, in the Bible, Samson had beautiful long hair, and it's where his power came from. And stinky Delilah, probably a narcissist, NPD disorder, starting back in biblical times, she found out, I think he disclosed to her, because I think they were probably lovers. Yeah, and she did break his throne, and she did cut his hair. She disempowered him. Oh, these fucking people. Anyway, well, just know that you've been given huge angel wings. So you're choosing, yeah, you took the hard road. You did it all by yourself in the angelic realm. It's very proud of you. Oh. Okay, hold on. Let's focus. I don't know if again, I don't really. Yeah, we'll see. I don't normally connect the most to these cards. What is going on? Why they're all over the place? What's happening? Okay, let's just have one angel card. Angels, is there just one? Since I feel like I'm connecting to you, can we just have one card? This one. There's something better. Okay. And on the bottom, we have look for a sign. Ooh, I'm all about that thunder energy. Okay, she's got lots of flowers. I love this. Okay. So there's something better. Look for a sign. All right, angels. Okay, let's keep you on the table. Thanks, angels. Okay. Well, where does this story go now? Oh. Yeah. Okay, I thought seeing old people and babies cry or animals suffer would make me weep, but there's something about seeing thousands of angels that are all giants crowded around a person weeping along. Like, that is a real tear fest. Okay, we're gonna pull a couple Kim K's just to set a tone, because I feel like, yeah, there's something better. There's something, and it's a little bit more philosophical. So let's just get, I love the Kim K. Let's just get another flavor here, and then we'll go into the tarot. To be honest, I love this song a lot more than, not that I don't love Boston, But hey, I love when I know the words, but also it is a beautiful song. Also, ooh, they're pointing out it took Leonard Cohen. I think he worked on that song because it started off as a poem, right? He was a poet. I believe it exceeded 10 years. He worked on this thing for a really long time. Okay. Well, elephant feet upstairs. Ooh, the animal in the mirror. Okay. Angels, why don't you tell elephant feet up there? Ooh, the king and the shaman. Okay. Yeah, the shaman. Like, you were picked. You were handpicked for this life. And everyone knew it wasn't going to be easy. I can already tell. Even if you're a female, you're a king. And look at that. Again, I always see this as like Christ's crucifixion. It's like, yeah, being crucified. That public persecution, like walking it alone. Yeah, I just keep seeing like stones being thrown at your head. Could even be literally. Like, I used to get beer bottles, yeah, and stones thrown at me. Small town Canada. If you're slightly sensitive and weird or artistic, I can tell you, definitely had a lot of people always want to kick my ass. Now, the great thing is I was always a fast runner. Usually I could talk my way out of it, but in a pinch, man, run like the devil. Oh, okay. Okay, so going back to the working on it. Yeah, don't let time deter you. I've also, artistically speaking, like, I have tons of things that I have been either songs or paintings or manuscripts, like anything. I'm always working on stuff. And I used to get really impatient. I used to think about the immediacy, like I'd want to work on something and complete it and be done. And I've really mellowed in old age. And going to art school also helped because I learned about a lot of artists that would, again, the conception would start and it would take like 10 to 12 years to complete a project. And I was like, what? That's crazy. That's why I love showing people the process. I think it's important for people to see the process, whether it's like an art modality, a spiritual modality, because people just think, oh, fuck, this person just figured it out and look how brilliant they are and like they never struggle. It's like, no. Okay. Okay, where's the book? There it is. Ooh, okay, the animal. I love this. I love this. The animal in the mirror. And the shaman and the king. Okay. Okay. The animal. 99. 99 is the number of Wayne Gretzky. He's from Canada. The prairies. And for the longest time, he was the best. I grew up watching Wayne Gretzky. Edmonton Oilers? Oh, yeah. Mark Messier? It was like the dream team. Okay, you're about to become the best. Yeah. You've received angel wings. You're the king. It took you many, many years. You never knew if you would saw. And it wasn't about completion, but you put a lot of work into something, maybe even just surviving. Okay, the animal, the beast, the wild one, the she-wolf. We are mammals. The hair on our chest and between our legs reminds us so. We try hard to deny our unrefined, animalistic nature. Yet through this archetype, we tap into power and direction. Activating the animal within means reawakening our relationship to nature in the most broad and embodied sense, drinking from waterfalls, roaring at the moon, opening eyes underwater, eating berries from the vine. The life force of our planet begs us to set down the devices, the constraints, and the social constructs, and remember the warm blood that pulses through our veins. The animal longs for breath, food, procreation, and physicality. It wants soil under our nails and starlight on our skin. If this all sounds terribly unsophisticated to you, take note that it is said that when Buddha became enlightened, he roared like a great lion. I fucking love this. Also, sorry, my foot's trying to go into a foot cramp. As if, okay, oh, please, not right now. The animal demands we get comfortable in our own skin. The minute you accept, express, and celebrate the physical body, you tap into animal energy. Yeah, there's something really here about you being a wild thing. Because that's the thing about social conformity. Oh my God, foot, come on, please. Yeah, going back to being willing to cut off your own wings. And they're also showing me like animals that get stuck in traps that are set and will bite off their own leg or paw to survive. Yeah, the animal in you. The animal in you is what survived. Fuck yeah. Oh, fuck those motherfuckers that hurt you too. Oh, send him here. Send him here. I don't care who it is. There's not one single thing I'm not willing to fight. It's been expressed in this video. If I don't think you're coming correct, let's go. It was the animal in you. That beautiful wild thing. Yeah. You should be proud of that. The mirror. 201. The reflection, the illusion, the looking glass. We look into mirrors every day without recognizing them as portals into another realm. They can shatter, flatter, distort, reflect, and project an image back to us that we deem to be true. The energy of the mirror. Oh, sorry, I didn't show you guys all the cards. Hold on, just quickly. How rude. Sorry, guys. Okay, so the animal. Here's the mirror. Here's the shaman. And then I did show you the king there. Then we just at least have a reference. Okay, sorry. Okay. The energy of the mirror is all about self-perception. When the archetype of the mirror appears, we are in the mythic land of Narcissus. Oh yes, who saw himself reflected in a pool and fell in love with his own image, so compelled by his reflection he could not turn away. A fixation that eventually led to his death. Recognize the power and danger of the mirror. It is a construct, one that may drive a shard between you and your true self. The mirror contains trickster energy. Put the phone down, stop with the comparisons, and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with the one inside. Okay, so quickly before I get what I'm already hearing is, I'm really sensing you had an abusive parent. A lot of domestics, like what we're seeing now, and by true NPD standards, narcissistic personality disordered people, it's like, I'm gonna say it, I think you probably had one or two NPD parents, very abusive. And while the animal in you was able to survive and keep certain things intact, you were a reflection to the narcissist parent, which in turn shattered them, because that's really what it's about. Anytime, because they believe they're a God self and that you're an extension of them. So that's why anytime you say no or set a boundary or you don't like something, or basically it shatters their delusion. It's a delusional state of God self. And so when they don't like what they see and it's shame-based, then they go into punishing. So I feel like going back to the tying to the chair, yeah, I feel like you were punished. And it shattered. There was a distortion. And that's very classic of being raised by a narcissistic parent. Because when you're little, your parents like are the sun and the moon. They're the ones who shape your reality. So when they go and start breaking your reality and distorting the truth, you internalize that, which is where the shaman's journey begins, because you're broken. And then you have to learn how to put yourself back together. And it's usually by yourself. Again, I've mentioned this before, we always have trail angels. You know, you're never going to be completely bereft, but depending on the assignment, there's going to be a lot of dark nights, howling at the moon and weeping while the angels weep with you. Okay, let's see if there was... For further reflections, read the poem I Am Not I by Juan Jimenez and Yoko Ono's Mirror Piece in Grapefruit. Speak to yourself gently and kindly in the mirror. It will feel awkward at first, but it is a sure way to become friends with yourself. Guys, I talk to myself in the mirror all the time. I have this one huge mirror, and so I do a lot of like breathing. It's where I sometimes do a lot of somatic work, and I've really taken to like looking at myself and talking, usually to the like, yeah, little me's. Highly recommend it, can't go wrong. Okay, the Shaman 93. The Magi, the Sorcerer, the Medicine Woman. 3 archetypal ingredients constitute the shaman, and all must be present in order to reveal its magic. First, the shaman is activated by long-standing and diligent study. The mentor. They're triggering the whole, like, the time it took for Leonard Cohen to just kind of, like, work out the rest of the poem that became a song. Like, a lot of time. And I don't even feel like 10 years. Like, that's just a reference. It could have taken 35 years. Second, excuse me. Second, its orientation is generously and accurately aimed toward the healing of the self, the other, and the culture, the healer. And third, the shaman has a knack for finding doorways to the other world, allowing psychic visions and old magic to leak into this world, the unseen. In this way, the shaman is a master who bridges the everyday and the sacred, revealing potent power needed desperately in our time. Yet where there is power, there is shadow. So the shaman must be vigilant in studying their darkness. This card reminds us that the force of healing is ultimately not our own. We must shape it and share it with the world. Contrary to popular belief, the shaman archetype appears in every vocation. Teachers, directors, surgeons, politicians, and poets are just a few of the faces a shaman may wear. The shaman can't be rushed. Working with this archetype requires study and perseverance. Think of it like brining or marinating. The content must permeate every fiber of its being. Oh yes, have a lot of time for you, dear one. 85, the king. The ruler, the commander, the emperor. If our lives are imagined as a kingdom containing the entire spectrum of human experience, the king presides over it all. Through the lens of the king, we assess the state of our land, make decisions, and rule accordingly. Therefore, the king must be thoroughly and regularly vetted so as to avoid corruption. That's part of that power, right? Going into the shadow. You have to know your own shadow. You have to go deep. Like every single day, your shadow is going to come up. On my way home today, my shadow was in full activation. Like a dark cloud. But that's what I mean. Everything is a teachable moment. How teachable are you? We're going to swing around back to that because that was another message last night. Recognize the dual nature of the king. He is either seated in benevolence and strength, guiding you towards peace, or he is oppressing the weak and out of a need to control. There is not much middle ground. Some think of the king as the ultimate expression of the ego. Yet the great kings of mythology and history serve from an egoless place. They take their throne with grace and humility, knowing the divine uses them as a channel to heal deep and long-standing discrepancies in the kingdom. The king is necessary. He is a bridge between the eternal and the day-to-day. It is also said that it is necessary for the king to die. This is the death of ego. Once the king's relationship to divinity is broken or challenged, he often acts from a place of fear, scrambling to uphold his image and power. Whew. Yeah. You're a bridge. And see, by becoming the whipping boy, like essentially that's going back to Marina Abramovich's piece where she's whipping the ocean, and with like Jesus allowing the crucifixion, it's like understanding a bigger picture. There's just something about like, and then with, was it Shiva last night that I was talking about, like taking the poison, that bridge, not only fixing self and understanding all aspects and knowing how to put yourself back together again, being a bridge, but taking the most vitriolic, like again, depravity, cruelness, like the darkest of dark. You allowed yourself to become a whipping boy. You cut your wings off, the animal in you saved you, and that became the pearl. And then it becomes this light for everyone because you share it. Again, you can only keep what you have by giving it away. The church bells are ringing right now. Yeah, from the basilica. Yeah, there's something so... I feel like it's the angels. They're ringing the bell. You've received your wings. And not in a light way. Like, this is like when I say depravity and cruelty, and this, like trigger warning, but like, yeah, like really experiencing things from a very young age and up of the darkest of dark. And a lot of people don't make it through that. And there's no judgment on that. Like, some things are just too big to hold. It's a lot, And sometimes you just can't. But for those that somehow find the way to make it through, it's really stupendous, like on just astronomical levels. Like, again, the angels, I just see thousands of angels just weeping and then like celebrating you. It's venerating. I don't really know what else to say. The animals are good. Okay, let's get a couple animals for you. Yeah, the animal. Let's get some animals for you. Do you want this deck or do we want the other deck? I'm kind of feeling the other deck. Yeah, we want this deck. Yeah, Kim's other deck. She's got lots of decks, but okay, yeah, let's stick with Kim. Okay. Well, Phoenix is already on the bottom, so we already know that is... Okay, please inform me. Let's get some animal cards for these wonderful collectives. Bear. Bear's the healer. They're the herbalists. Yeah, they dig up roots. They know all about plant medicine. Yeah. Dragon. Mythological, your power. It's huge. It's from other realms. We have hummingbird. Again, angelic realm. Yeah, snake. The divine mother. One more. One more. Raccoon. Yeah. Raccoons are like what they call like the city bears, but their ingenuity, like that's, you relied on your ingenuity, your animal nature to survive at all costs. And to thrive in any environment. Maybe not thrive, but at least survive. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to keep it really simple. It's really about acknowledging who you are. To be like, I see you. The entire universe has been with you and sees you, but especially the angels. And if you are still even doubting, just know that, like, I'm just seeing these. It's like you don't see it, but you've literally been, it's like putting the crown, the angelic crown, it's like receiving your wings. And it's like, honestly, it's one of the most tremendously beautiful things I have seen. Well, yeah, I see a lot of things in my visions and stuff, and they're all very moving, but this is like, I cried on the way to my client's place, and I'll probably have a real cry about this afterwards, but like you should really know just how magnificent you are and what you've truly overcome and what it takes to do that. And most people will never know that kind of courage and strength and fearlessness. Like I do, like as I do in the temple, it really is like, I see you. I don't know, big love. I'm just, yeah, there's no words really. It's so much respect and really like, please go sit with yourself and really acknowledge. Go look in the mirror. Go look in your own eyes and realize you are the king and you have your angel wings. And there's something better. Look for a sign, okay? All right.